So 5, 4, 3.
Hey Chad, how you liking the new digs?
It's pretty sweet. It's
New place, new studio. We're recording from.
It's great. The mics, the filters, everything, and it's all given to us by Infinite Grenade Launcher.
Who?
It's a podcast about video games.
Podcast.
No, a pod. I said
podcast.
Podcast.
What are you saying? Podcast.
Podcast.
Okay. Infinite
Grenade Launcher.
Infinite.
No, not Infinite.
Grenade.
Infinite.
Launcher.
You're not French now.
No, it's French.
But you're German.
You're butchering it.
You
French.
killed lots of French people.
See, you do that.
I didn't do anything.
When I
you brought it.
Go, hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Raised by Toons. I'm Dan, Danimated Mason.
I'm Chad, Globbity Glob Cook.
And today we're joined by our cartoon correspondent, Tiffany Sutton.
Oh.
All right.
Strong open.
Strong open there.
Strong open.
Hi, it's Tiffany Sutton here.
Well, if you couldn't tell by Chad's goofy demeanor, today we will be reviewing a Goofy movie.
Open up your eyes, take a look at me. Get the picture fixed in your memory. I'm driven by the rhythm like the beat of a heart. And I won't stop until I start to stand out. To stand out. Some people settle for the typical thing. Living all their lives waiting in the wings. It ain't a question of if, just a matter of time. Before I move to the front of the line. Once you're watching every move that I make, you gotta believe that I got what it takes to stand out above the crowd. Even if I gotta shout out loud, tonight is the only baby you see. Gonna stand out. So you know.
Classic song from the Goofy movie soundtrack. Chad?
By Tevin Campbell. Stand out. One of the great.
He's learning, everybody.
Hey,
He's
you know?
learning things.
But actually, you want to talk about what you did this past weekend first?
That's right. Toonsters, the Raised by Toons Squad was actually out in full effect. Myself and our cartoon correspondent Tiffany Sutton, say hello to the people.
Hey guys.
I wasn't invited.
We got to attend D23 Expo this past weekend.
Yeah, we
And it was amazing.
it was amazing.
I wasn't there.
Chad wasn't invited. We told him after. We sent him pictures to let him know we were there. It was great. We saw a few panels, but a big highlight of our trip was seeing the Goofy movie reunion.
It was amazing. 20 years. Can you believe it's been 20 years?
Tiffany, as our cartoon correspondent, you were eye on the sky, feet on the ground, clobber hopper to the dip-dop.
Yes. I actually even dressed in character for such an occasion.
What character?
I was Powerline.
Oh, stand out!
Above the crowd.
All right, guys, we already heard the song.
Okay.
Anyway, so who's Powerline to everyone who's not listening in?
Powerline is only the greatest megastar on the planet, played by Tevin Campbell.
So before we go into what a Goofy movie is and what it meant to us, I want to talk about the convention and who we met there.
Wow.
So like I said, there was a panel for the 20th anniversary of Goofy movie, and
Pretty
Funny
much-
point, though, the movie actually came out April 7th, 1994.
oh, he's dropping knowledge on
But-
us.
It was 95, I thought.
No, it's 94.
Uh-oh.
What?
Okay, we're going to move on here.
But we'll
There were
move
some
on.
words.
But that's why I just found it weird that there was a reunion now instead of then.
Well,
But it was convenient.
D23
Yeah, it was
doesn't
convenient
happen every year.
I know.
So that might be why. I
That's
really
probably
thought I
why.
went
Who
and
was
saw
on the
that in
panel?
the theater in 95. Well, on the panel, we had pretty much the entire main cast. There was my personal favorite, Jason Marsden, who voices Max Goof.
Why are you're salivating?
I really like Jason Marsden, and also he's my entire childhood.
Ew.
He's everybody's child.
Thackeray Binks, man. Hocus Pocus, come on.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Jason Marsden was also known for, like she said,
Everything.
Thackeray Binks, but he was everything.
Everything. If you watched TGIF in the 90s, you saw his face.
Step by Step.
And Step by Step, he was on Boy Meets World. He actually played himself as Eric's best
He was
friend
DJ's
on Boy Meets
boyfriend,
World.
I believe, right?
No.
Or Kimmy's.
He was not on Full House. He was on Step by Step, and he was Dana's boyfriend on Step by Step.
All right, well, let's bring it back to
Sorry,
Disney.
so there's a lot of voice talent which we're gonna get sidetracked with. Rob Paulsen was there, my personal favorite.
One of my personal
He
favorites.
played the
My
voice
personal favorite, a
of-
little more than Chad's.
No, I think mine's a little bit more.
Rob Paulsen was the voice of PJ in the film.
And
Pete's son.
Pete's son and Jim Cummings, well known as Winnie the Pooh and Tigger.
Pete.
He played
I know,
Pete.
that
that's pretty good.
No,
And
that was
then,
bad.
of course, everyone's favorite goof.
Goofy.
Yeah, Goofy.
Bill Farmer, the
was
voice
there.
of the original Goofy, was there.
I wonder if Bill likes to farm.
Can you cut his mic off?
Anytime.
Okay, thanks. See, that's the benefit of having this new studio.
They also had Jenna Vinoy there, who played
Jenna
Stacy.
Vinoy, yeah. Also, Don Hain, who was the producer of Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, and I met him afterwards. And also, let's talk about the convention before we go into the movie.
Okay.
We actually met with Rob Paulsen, Don Hain,
Jason
Marsden, Bill Farmer,
and Jim Cummings.
Jim
yeah.
Cummings. We met with all of them.
It was amazing. We got to actually have a good conversation with Rob Paulsen, and he's just the nicest guy.
If you guys haven't seen our Facebook page yet, why would you? Check it out. We posted the videos on our Facebook page, on our Twitter box.
Tweet what?
What's it called?
Oh, Twitter.
Twitter.
We
Oh,
posted it on
my.
Twitter. There's some fascinating stuff. Rob Paulsen goes into how understanding the difference between it's not just a goofy voice, but it's also the emotion and the acting brought behind it, and why. And it was a point I brought up that it's not that you necessarily can't be goofy while making it real, but you can, if you're talented, you can make a goofy voice become real, and it's what you
true.
carry on through it.
Very
And
true.
you
Yeah.
can see it because, like Rob said, I call him Rob. We're friends. Anyway, that was between him saying that my wife was a little out of my league.
He definitely said I was out of your league.
Probably.
Shh, they don't know you're my wife. Shut up.
No, I think
breaking the
I think
wall.
they got the hint a while ago.
I think they
Shut
knew.
up. You're all ruining the show. We're going to get canceled.
Anyway, it
You know
was
how fucking expensive it is to rent this new studio?
a great experience at
20
D23.
grand.
No, we got their autographs. Rob Paulsen was my childhood Raphael, and now he's the voice of Donatello, so I got an autograph of both of those two together. Jim Cummings, it was strange because there were so many characters I forgot he was the voice of. Like, I forgot he was Darkwing Duck. I forgot he was miscellaneous Disney afternoon characters, and then goes back to Bill Farmer, where you forget that he's an icon. He is the voice of everything. He even does Euro Disney shows. He does translations for them as well. So he is known all over the world, and they are the nicest. The voice actors. I'm sorry if I'm hogging the mic here. The voice actors are the most humble people. Tiffany?
They're amazing.
That is true.
We got to spend a good chunk of time with them, and it was so amazing how gracious and humble they were with people. I pretty much observed how they were around the convention and like how they spoke to everyone, and just their demeanor was just really awesome to see. So if
You
you
could
ever
see
meet
the
those
difference.
guys, you will definitely be pleasantly pleased.
That you could see the difference between I bumped into a few like radio Disney stars, and I bumped into a few like Disney Channel teen pop sensations the whole time, and they had like an entourage with them, and like you could tell it was not as Rob would say, it's about the instant fame and not the work. And that's always run very true to me as far as, anything in life. It's if you're going to go anywhere, you want to have that the work and the experience, and you want to know that you've earned the final step on the ladder.
Are you
there.
crying?
It's just Rob. He was so cool. He was speaking. Narf. Chad also met Jim Cummings in a past.
Yes, at the Animation Toon Con about a couple. I don't even know how many months ago, but it was a while ago. But it was fun. He was cool. He was great.
Can we name our new studio Castle Grayskull?
I think that's up to the studio manager.
Yeah,
He's shaking his head.
No.
It looks
no,
like
that's
yes.
not happening. No.
I think I'm seeing a yes.
So
He winked at me. It's in. Castle Grayskull.
Let's get into some Goofy movie panel info.
Yes,
So
Tiffany.
not only were the original cast there, but one fun fact about the film is that Jason Marsden actually did not get to do his own singing voice in the film. Even though he actually can sing, they hired somebody else to do Max's singing voice. So as a treat to everyone, they actually queued up On the Open Road and had Jason Marsden and Bill Farmer sing that live, so Jason had a chance to actually sing as Max Goof, and it was pretty special.
Yeah. Also, another surprise they had was at the end of the panel.
Oh my gosh.
They as you guys know, Tiffany, our cartoon correspondent, was dressed as Powerline.
I was dressed as
who was the
Powerline.
main musician that Max, initially goes on the road trip, which we'll talk about in a
Powerline,
second.
only the greatest superstar in the planet.
He was the whole superstar thing.
They actually
They surprised everybody by having him come out.
yeah, Tevin
And-
Campbell.
Tiffany, you've never heard her scream so loud in your god darn life.
Well, it was a
I censored the
surprise
wrong word there.
Powerline concert.
Why would you...
Can we
Never
just
mind.
talk about the insanity? That's everybody's dream to go to a Powerline concert, and we got to do that.
There were moist panties everywhere, and it was
Oh my
Really?
mostly mine. I wear about 3 pairs at a time.
It was insane.
Were some of them from people with those, promise rings or whatever? The-
Like a 90s promise.
yeah. Those
Purity
purity rings.
rings,
That's
yeah.
what they are. Purity rings.
It was insane.
It was amazing.
It was incredible.
Everyone was so fun. We don't want to get too much about D23 because you can listen to the videos on our site. And also, I want to hear Chad's velvety voice, like a Barry White mixed with macaroni. Sorry, that was a wrong word.
Macaroni?
That was not the word.
I don't.
all right,
I
well.
don't even know.
I was
what just
thinking
happened.
Velveeta.
Well, that's
Velvet?
still in the same...
Velvet.
You thinking velvet, not Velveeta cheese, but
Yeah.
velvet.
Anyway.
Okay.
It still is in the same category.
Hey everybody! Today on Raised by Toons, we're doing a Goofy movie.
If you didn't know that what we were doing by now, it's a Goofy movie.
There's, Chad, there's no one left. They're gone.
Well, I mean,
It's a cute notion.
I
to
think you were
that
just
people are still
bragging too
listening
much,
in.
and people just stopped listening.
Why does he get to have nice things? I just imagine every man on my headset.
voices.
Why did the headset man get to have the nice things?
What?
I don't know.
I'm annoying myself. Can you say something about the fucking movie?
Okay, well-
hold on now.
Hold on.
Well, a Goofy movie. It was
You got nothing.
no, it was really great when I first saw it. My brother, he watched it a lot more than I did, actually. Weirdly enough, but
Not weirdly.
all right, okay, not weirdly. All right, we get it. My voice is like macaroni when you stir it around in a bowl. But I really liked the movie.
What was your first? Because you were talking about your brother, so
Well, yeah. I would come into the living room. He's watching the movie, and I'm like, "What's this?" It's like there's a movie with Goofy in it, and he's got a kid, and I'm like, "When did Goofy, impregnate
Troop.
somebody?"
Oh
But
yeah. So
Goof Troop came first.
So what
Well,
happened?
yeah, it's a sequel spin-off movie.
It's like a wrap up because when Goof Troop ended, they kind of wrapped it all up with the movie. So it came at the end of the series. And they actually, because Max and Goof Troop was much younger, and they decided in order to wrap it up, they should grow him up a little bit and have him hit puberty. So that's why they changed the voice of the original Max actor to Jason Marsden, so he could grow up a little bit and have more of an adult voice.
Now I want to set up a question for you two.
Okay.
The Goofy movie, they did something with Goofy that wasn't done before. They took this completely slapstick, bumbling idiot that was only sort of flopping from A to B, and they gave him heart, they gave him purpose, they gave him
Emotion,
credential. Yeah.
Serious emotion and backstory.
And it was something unheard of. And we can go, you can talk about this, Tiffany, but I want to get the question to Chad too. There's a strong bond between father and son in this movie. as a male growing up as a young man watching this
Yeah.
thing, does it tug at a heartstring at all when you were younger, or if you were to rewatch it, like does it pull more now?
It probably pulls more now because I'm not as close with my dad, but I would say back then I was very happy and I had a happy relationship with my dad.
Don't you fucking lie.
And it didn't really connect till much later when I had a heavy heart of regret.
Are you seeing
and
things
sorrow.
eye to eye?
Yeah, we see we see eye to eye.
You should have seen that coming.
Yeah, I set you
did.
up.
I did. That was my fault.
But when was the last time you watched it, too?
Well, I could say the last time I watched it was when one of our good friends used it to pick up a girl in our dorm room.
Say his name and address.
Luke Casey.
No, you fucker.
Wait, Luke Casey used it to pick up a
Yeah,
girl?
like girls, for some reason, girls love that movie.
You mean John
we sure
Stacey.
do love that movie.
John Stacey.
John
Our friend John
Stacey.
Stacey.
Yeah, my dorm roommate, John Stacey, he, I was in the room. I guess I should have left, but
You creeper.
I wanted to watch the
You
movie.
didn't fucking leave when he was with a girl
He
watching a
wanted
movie?
to watch a Goofy movie, guys.
I wanted to see a Goofy movie. It's been a
Understandable.
while.
You're such
Legit.
a little shit.
No, it's
You're
legit.
a little...
But-
No, he knew exactly what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah,
But hey,
he wanted to watch a Goofy movie.
regardless, it all worked out.
For who? You?
Yeah, because he got to watch the
Popcorn
movie.
eating motherfucker.
There was no popcorn. It was just
Your popcorn.
I just went to my computer after, put some headphones on, and
just
let John
And
Stacey
just
do
jacked
the.
off. Okay. So Tiffany, I was getting into the realism of Goofy.
Mm-hmm.
At the panel, they said something that was I never knew before, that they were going to try
Use-
something new.
They thought that instead of Goofy having his traditional recognizable Goofy voice, that they were going to have Bill Farmer literally just speak normal as Goofy for some reason. I guess so that people could take him seriously, so that people could actually see him as like a more in-depth character for the emotion. So they actually had him record the whole film in his actual voice. And then after a while, I guess people were like convincing
cast was
them.
sort of like,
the cast
"Don't
was
do
kind of
it."
thrown off and said, "Don't do that. Everybody recognizes Goofy by his voice, and Bill Farmer can bring emotion in with that Goofy voice. It's not going to be one note." So I guess they listened to the genius of the cast and whoever else put up a fight for Goofy's voice, and he went back in and re-recorded the whole film in Goofy's traditional voice, which thank goodness, because it would have been so weird after like Goof Troop and all that other stuff to
Or
just
just
see
40
Goofy
years of-
to see Goofy in some different normal voice. It would have been so strange.
The one thing that does stand out for me with the movie is it influenced my eating habits for a while. I just chugged
Cheese Whiz, huh?
Yeah, I just chugged
Shadow
Cheese Whiz.
Whizzer.
I used to put it on Ritz crackers, but they told me you don't need Ritz crackers.
Bobby
You
just
have a
shoots-
hand.
Put
Yeah.
it right in your mouth.
It's the Leaning Tower of Cheese.
You say
though.
you say you used to, yet here you are.
Well, I moved on to
You were. I can see
I-
dried remnants of Cheese Whiz
it's-
around your mouth.
It's not Cheese Whiz. It's Velveeta cheese. I just
See, that's why I thought of it.
well, no, but I don't even eat the macaroni. I just melt the cheese that comes with the packet, and then I eat that.
Can anyone else see you or hear you, or are you just a figment of my imagination from something awful I've done in a past life?
Well, it was
Oh,
it was
Sorry, what was
probably
that?
it was probably that time your mom caught you in your room
yeah, probably.
playing with your dog.
We could have filled in the blank with anything.
But I,
So I want to talk about the characters. With the Cheese Whiz, you segued into that very perfectly, even though we have no
Bobby.
notes with us today. The characters, Bobby, was he your favorite?
yes, Bobby was my favorite.
Give a rundown, Tiffany, of all the characters, and then we'll break
right.
down who was our favorites.
Well, there's the Max and Goofy characters. They are the main characters of Goof Troop and a Goofy movie. And then Max's best friend PJ, who happens to be Pete's son. Now, Pete goes all the way back to the very beginning of Disney, from Steamboat Willie. Pete started out as Peg Leg Pete, one of Mickey Mouse's nemesis, and he kind of evolved over time. And he's always been kind of like a villainous
He's
type
like a
character, but he mellowed out a bit, and they gave him more of some more personality besides just being like this villain. And he became Goofy's neighbor and Goof Troop, and he continued on to being
He's more of an asshole than a villain.
Well,
now.
he's an asshole, but he's still kind of like. Well, he's an asshole. Yeah,
He's an asshole.
He's a funny asshole.
He's a good
though.
asshole.
He's a funny asshole because he's got
The
more.
best kind of
He's
asshole.
got more.
Raised by Toons, the best kind of asshole. We'll make the bumper stickers.
He's not just like one flat asshole. He's got some good qualifications to him. He's got a little more rounded characteristics.
He's more of a rounded asshole.
He's more.
I think Jim Cummings, he gives Pete the best asshole, but
We could have took it somewhere else. I thought you were going to take us into how Jim Cummings like really brought a realism to a two-dimensional character. But no, let's keep this asshole thing going.
All right. Well, besides Pete and PJ, there is also Bobby, who is played by Pauly Shore, and that's their other friend.
The two worst Pauly Shore impressions at the same time.
The Leaning Tower of Cheese. Shadow Wizard.
Shadow Wizard.
Principal Mazer. What's
Hey
up,
guys, I'm doing this all
bro?
for you.
Don't give me that attitude, guys. I'm doing this all
these
for
are
you.
awful. These-
No. Principal Mazer.
just-
What's up, bro? That was good.
I'm not even going to try it because I know.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So
We're about to get canceled from the producer.
So-
We're paying for this.
then
Yuck.
besides
not bad.
Bobby and Polly,
know.
played by Pauly Shore, there's also Max's love interest, which is Roxanne.
Oh, we forgot Roxanne and the F me eyes that she
And,
has at
okay.
the beginning of the movie.
and Roxanne's
Redhead.
best
Every guy in the world, I'm going to stop you right there.
Yep,
Every guy in the world just went, yeah, those eyes. Like, every guy knows what the fuck
And I
I'm
bet
talking
she has
about.
the coldest of noses because she's a dog.
Tiffany, go on.
Okay, and then Roxanne's best friend Stacy, who's the student class president, played by Jenna Vanoy. And Jenna Vanoy is well known as being Blossom's best friend from Blossom.
The fast talking.
She's a fast talking lady. Yes.
What's her name?
6.
6.
She was 6 on
Six.
Blossom. Yeah.
I
So
like Joey.
Stacy has this big
fuck
summer
is this show
party.
anymore?
This big summer party planned to watch the Powerline concert live on pay-per-view, and everyone in the school's invited, and Max wants to ask Roxanne. So he has this whole plan on the last day of school to show up and impersonate Powerline and throw this, like, basically hijack the assembly from Principal Mazer, played by Wallace Shawn, and do like a Powerline video in front of the whole school, and it gets some pretty cool street cred. He was the nerdy goof boy, and then after that, he was Max.
They've been laughing since I can remember.
I forget that.
But they're
part,
not
but-
gonna
had to
laugh
show him?
Yeah,
anymore.
One thing that bothered me though is they're in the world of Disney, right? Yet the whole movie, it's all dog people.
It's
there's-
Dogtown.
But so it's Dogtown. There's one.
I think
town
it's
named-
Dogtown.
But they went through all the
I assume
United
it's like
States.
countries.
Be-
They
Because-
went all along the coast.
But you saw Mickey and Donald.
Mickey and Donald were there as
Mickey
hitchhikers.
Donald.
Okay, 1-2 people like they're kind of like the black
And for
sheep.
the most
of
part,
dog world.
a lot of people are either dogs or horses and barnyard animals for the most part, like those old like Clarabelles and
Yeah,
Horace-
but in a Goofy movie, it was a
Horseshoe.
dog
It was
world.
pretty much a dog world.
That was the world that they laid out in Goof Troop, so they had to be consistent. But Mickey and Donald did do a cameo there.
Yep. So you were talking about the plot a bit.
Yes.
Let's finish that.
Okay, so, Max doesn't want to be a nerd anymore, so he hijacks the school assembly on the last day of school and does this amazing Powerline music video, lip syncing and, doing all the dance moves. And he gets caught and he gets in trouble with the principal. And so Goofy has this plan so that his son doesn't end up in jail because he was being a delinquent, to take him on a father-son fishing trip. Unfortunately, that fishing trip would last the whole summer, and he'd missed that Powerline concert pay-per-view party that Stacy's throwing that he asked Roxanne to.
And Roxanne looked like she was going to put out like hardcore.
Well, so Roxanne was kind of disappointed when Max was like, I have to go on the road. So she was like, I guess I can go with someone else. To prevent her from going with somebody else, he makes up this elaborate lie that his dad's actually taking him across country to the Powerline concert in LA, and then goes on to embellish that he was going to dance with Powerline in the final number. Just to
I
make
don't see why that makes her change her mind. He had to leave anyway. He wasn't going to be there. It doesn't matter.
It's a teenager. He doesn't want to lose this girl while he's off on a lame fishing trip with his dad. Hijinks ensue while they go on this cross-country trip. But, yeah.
There was some strong themes in this movie about... I think my wife said it beautifully while we were watching it recently, and it was they had such a strong bond when they were doing Goof Troop, and they went on all these adventures, and they
Yes.
were the best of friends.
Yes.
And now Goofy can't understand why his best friend is not spending time with him anymore.
Max hit puberty. He's in high school now. He's
Yeah.
embarrassed by his
Things
dad.
change when you're a teenager.
Yeah, things change. And that was one of the complexities that they brought to these characters because when we watched Goof Troop, Max is young. He still thinks his dad's his hero. They're best of friends. And then Max grows up and he doesn't have time for his dad anymore. He's the nerd. He's the goof boy. So
Besides,
he's
you can't be
embarrassed.
friends with your dad.
You
That's
totally can.
You can, but he's in his adolescent
But if you're
phase.
He's in
where
his angsty
He's
shit.
embarrassed and angsty.
well, yeah, but the father is not going to have any parental control over their kid if they're just friends. Then obviously he's going to do what he did with the map and change it around.
Well,
Do you want to
and
explain that,
not
Chad,
care.
what he did with the map and how the story took a turn?
Sure, I'll do that, Dan.
Try not to talk about anything gross.
Try to. And
try not to. Try not to.
Oh, not to. Okay.
See, that's how what he hears.
Got. Okay. So where did you leave off? Tiffany?
Well,
Well,
we'll just
basically,
say-
they went on that cross country trip, and
Yes,
his dad has no idea about his lie, but Max is like trying to figure out how he's going to get to this Powerline concert while he's on this fishing trip with his dad.
And
explain what
it-
the map is as well.
Well, the map is a planned trip that Goofy himself went on with his dad, and it's how he bonded with his dad on that trip. So, but the first stop they do is at I forget the name.
Lester's Possum Park.
Lester's Possum Park.
And so, as
Spiking
dads
yet,
do,
buddy?
as dads do, they embarrass their
crying.
kid.
Oh my gosh, he was so
And
embarrassed.
I would be
I was
fucking
humiliated.
mad as well if I was thrown up
There
there
he
on
is.
stage with those possums. Hey there,
Who's your favorite possum?
That was actually the
Yeah.
famous voice actor.
Pat Buttram.
Yes, Chad. Oh, that's why I have you here.
Pat
Every
Buttram
once in a
was
while,
in-
your stupid brain spits out a little
And
nugget.
was in Back to
they
the
they
Future.
actually dedicated the movie to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
That was
passed
his
away.
last film.
Yeah.
But go on about the.
But yes, so they had a big fight after Max was embarrassed, and so he storms off. But they get back in the car and they continue on the trip, and then they I believe they crash in a river.
No, they
Not
encounter
yet.
Bigfoot.
Not yet.
Before that, they actually run into PJ and Pete, and Pete's
Yes, camping. Yes,
Pete's
yes, I
giving Goofy his ridiculous father advice that he just thinks is like the best, which is
And
to.
his son is wondering what to do. This is my PJ.
I got
Why do you
that.
sound like
My name is Carl.
you sound like Julia Childs?
from Jimmy Neutron.
That's more like it.
That's
Yeah,
a
you
good
sound
one.
like Carl.
So anyway,
Same voice, same.
It
Rob
is Rob Paulsen. There you go.
Rob,
That's
I
what-
love you.
Pete
why-
basically tells him to keep him under his thumb, which is like the worst advice because
Keep
he's
'em
trying
under
to
your
get
thumb, Goof.
right. He's trying to
I
get.
probably would have been a
space.
better, person
Yeah.
if my dad kept me under his thumb. But
Probably.
We don't have time to talk about your father issues. Talk about the map.
So yeah.
Okay.
So basically, he runs into Pete, and every advice that Pete gives isn't good. So
no. And as Goofy, he takes Max to the pond or the lake and he does the
Perfect cast.
Perfect cast
shows with
And-
the fishing pole.
with the fishing pole, but that lures who Bigfoot
Bigfoot.
over to their campsite.
Originally, it was going to be a bear.
Yes.
They
Really?
showed us the original sketches.
Bigfoot's
yeah.
I could see
Funnier.
that actually.
But it doesn't hold the same if it's just a bear.
Right.
I think they've used a bear in another Goofy thing actually. In one of those, narrated
Bears
remember
want us
the
all
old-
dead. I'm sure they did.
the old narrated Goofy episodes, like when he was camping. I
This
think
is
they
how
did
you fly.
Yeah, and there was a bear.
I
was a
think
bear.
Bigfoot was funnier.
But no, Bigfoot was hilarious with his goofy face, and he was licking
goofy
things,
face.
and he was
Dancing.
grabbing, dancing to the headphones on his head, and he's
But the thing with the map is that there was originally a plan to go to like Oregon or Idaho.
that
and
lake.
Max,
The lake.
Max at the last second erases it and changes it to L.A. to see the Powerline concert.
which Goofy's pretty.
Now-
I mean, come on.
down the road.
Oh well, no.
Goofy gives Max control of the map
Yeah.
because when
'Cause
Goofy
he
was
trusts
younger, his dad let him control the map. So Goofy's like, I trust you. You know, you're a part of this trip too. From now on, you get to pick all the stops to try to rectify their relationship because with all the other stuff that he was doing wasn't helping. It was just driving Max away. So he decides to let Max take some control of the vacation. So Max starts to pick sites that he likes and he starts to have fun with his dad and they're bonding. But because his dad's not looking at the map anymore, Max has rerouted them to LA.
Right.
And I forgot what I was going to say. So
Oh well, I want to say this movie. This is probably the longest we've ever spent discussing a plot.
It's so good.
But the thing about this movie is it's not a straight line of. It's not through. What's the term? Anyway, it's not straight through of who you're rooting for.
That's true.
Because I remember being like, why is Max being such a dick? Why is Goofy not listening to him?
Right.
Why is blah blah blah? And when Max did that, I was like, what the fuck, Max? And then when because it was so real.
Yes.
And
Well,
you can identify with both sides.
I remembered what I was going to bring up. The very emotional moments. All the bright colors get very dark, and then you see it's dark around their eyes, or the lighting in these shots, and you see some very emotional face.
Goofy, man.
credit to the
they
animators.
pull at your heartstrings.
Oh,
with
and
some
the
of Goofy's
faces they make.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like when
So
they're
sad.
when Goofy is that upset to see what his
Oof.
son has done, you see it. You
When he
feel
finds
it.
when he
out-
just sloops into bed
When he
after
finds
finding
out what Max
Yeah.
did with the map, it is like devastating to Goofy because he thinks that they're finally having fun.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a credit to the animators. It's a credit to the voice talent.
The writer,
The writers,
The writer, which was Jim.
he was there.
He was there. The
The
writer
writer
was
was
there as
there,
well. I
too,
forgot his last
on the
name.
panel.
Jim something.
Sorry, Jim.
Sorry, Jim, but a credit to him. So we get to the point where there's the final.
There's like a final conflict between them when Goofy finally confronts Max, but this is after they've already gone through like this crazy accident and they're in the water. The car is like floating and they're going over a waterfall, and he confronts him about changing the map, and everything comes to a head, but eventually all is forgiven, and his dad decides to just go along with it and get him to that concert.
Because he was real with them for once,
Yeah.
and he actually it took a
Explained.
waterfall.
It took a waterfall, but he explained why, what was going on, and Goofy, of course, is going to be understanding
understands.
father. So
Because he would still get to do it with his son, which is the whole point.
The
He's
whole
not
point.
on a straight path to prison. He's just trying to get
Impress this
get
Kind of
good-
reminds me of that TLC song. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
a waterfall.
I don't even think that's how the song goes.
Yeah, it's
but-
probably something like
it's
that.
Something
though.
like that, though. Lefty eye.
Oh, speaking of soundtracks,
Oh my god, the best soundtrack in the
So
world is
the-
a Goofy movie.
it is-
Can I just say?
the soundtrack is so good. It's not just the Powerland that we've been hyping up this whole time, though, but the characters themselves
Oh my gosh.
knock it out of the park and then they have ballads. They have little joke throwaway songs like Lester's Possum
Oh
Park.
my gosh. So good.
Tiffany is salivating again.
Well, I just want to mention because you asked Chad about his first experience. But my first experience, I actually saw this in the theater. And I remember
Theater.
the movie theater.
Oh,
And I remember afterwards,
heard of those.
I made my mother buy me that cassette tape soundtrack. Immediately.
Cassette tape?
Yep, a cassette tape.
Wow.
And I put it in my Walkman.
what?
And I'd listen
How
to it
old?
over and over and over again
Honey,
on
we
car
gotta
trips.
talk about how fucking old you are.
Yep. And I remember I would annoy the crap out of my parents because I would just sing it out loud. It's the best songs on this movie. Best.
So, Chad, do you have any that stand out above the crowd? Chad,
I mean, I had
stand out song.
I had a Discman, if that's what you're saying. CD.
That doesn't even answer the question.
Oh, what
I
was the
said,
question?
what song stood out to you?
Oh, what stood out to me?
I had a Discman.
Well, I mean, I really do like the Eye to Eye song at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a classic.
Do you know
Song.
enough to sing any?
If you look,
Oh,
if we
I said
look into
sing.
each
I said
other's,
sing. So if you could just
okay,
back up from the mic and fucking wail.
Okay,
That'd be great.
If we listen to each other's heart, we'll find we'll never too far. Don't chime in.
I'm helping you.
I'm singing this myself. You could be the fat opera lady.
Okay, go. Get there.
Nice.
Okay. I lost. Damn it! I lost my point.
Fine, we'll never too far apart.
But I also like the
song. I'm not waiting 3 minutes. To
I
chime
also
in.
like the after school. What's it called?
They've been
After
laughing
today.
since I can remember.
After today. Yeah.
But you could really say this movie was a musical.
It was
It
a
was.
musical.
It totally was
was a
old
complete
Disney
musical.
formula with the musical.
It was amazing. It was
After
actually.
today, I'm gonna be cruising.
I'm gonna sit on my butt.
Yeah.
It was
That
so
guy.
good. Lester's Possum Park, which now grab a pound.
Because you like country music, right?
No,
You don't?
no.
Oh, I remember you were talking about Brad Paisley earlier.
Who?
Brett, you know.
I'm not even playing stupid.
Your favorite, your favorite country singer.
Is that a real person?
Sing.
Is that
yeah,
real?
Yeah, Red Solo Cup. That was the song you were singing.
I know Red Solo Cup.
What
That's
is
not
that?
Brad Presley.
Toby Keith. Sorry, Toby Keith was your favorite country
Not the
singer.
Booskin Book. Why are we still talking about this?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, Tiffany, Powerline is your Mamma Jamma.
He's my jam.
Is he? Oh, is he Yo Jam?
He's my jam. For
Okay,
real.
well,
He's
hit
my
us up.
jam.
Hit us up with something proper.
If I can make you stop and take a look at me instead of just
Walking by,
there's nothing that I wouldn't do if it was getting you to notice.
I'm your guy.
Oh no, it was Summer Love. It was Summer Love.
don't
I
give
guess
a-
I should have cued you on what the words were.
I just made it up. I
Yeah.
think my favorite is the
Standout's my favorite.
it was mine is when Only You, when they're on the top of the car floating down the river. I don't know the words.
Is that from personal experience, Dan?
When my dad and I fell off a waterfall.
Nobody
and we're
else
floating.
but you. You mean
guys sang a song together?
nobody
We
else?
do sing like
but
that.
you. Nobody else.
Nobody else but you. Yeah.
It's the
I don't know
duet
the
between
words,
Goofy
though.
and Max
Oh! I'm sorry. I got another one. Open Road.
on the open road.
On the open road.
Oh, where he causes a 12.
Do you need a break from modern living?
But wait, doesn't he
Oh,
cause?
Goofy. I can't do it.
Doesn't he cause a pile up?
No.
No, they
Everyone
just-
joins them.
Everybody on the freeway is like dancing on top of their cars.
I'm sorry. What the thing that makes me fucking cry laughing every time
There are
is
no
when
strings on me.
no, oh yeah,
I'm feeling fancy free.
A corpse comes out of his casket and he's just doing the jump kick.
On
Hold
top
it.
of
Wait
car.
a minute. Hold up 1 second. We forgot to pick a cereal, right?
Chad, we
So,
almost forgot to pick a
Dan, did you want? Should I? You
Chad,
gonna start
let
up?
me
You wanna start up?
let me paint the picture.
Okay, paint the picture for me. Paint it.
You and your father have an estranged relationship.
Okay.
You haven't seen each other in a long time, or at least you haven't seen each other eye to eye, even
Ooh.
longer.
Okay. I see where you're going.
Now, your father decides to take you on a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to rekindle that flame that's been burnt out between you two.
Okay.
However, he didn't know that you wanted him out of the picture for good, and you cut his brakes.
All right.
However, you didn't know that when you woke up in the back of his car with chloroform rag around your mouth. So as you're careening down the freeway, he slowly leans in and says, "If I'm going to die, I'm taking you with me."
Yeah.
And you said, "Dad, this is what I wanted all the time." So you both hold hands, and then you hug. You say, "I love you, Dad," and "I love you, son." And then right before you careen right off the cliff, you get a hankering for some cereal. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
What cereal would you have as you're about to careen to your death?
Well, I would grab a nice plain bowl of cornflakes that the box that had Max and Goofy on the front of it.
Ah, excellent choice. Excellent last meal, Chad.
Hey, got to stay healthy, right?
It won't matter for you.
All right, on to Danny here.
Okay.
So all of a sudden you wake up in a deep, deep sweat. and you
deep.
don't worry about it. Don't even think about
Okay.
it. Okay, you turn to your left, you see Goofy there, not animated, not cartoon style, but alive, like real dog person.
Like 7 foot tall.
7 foot dog person
That's
looking at you
terrifying.
right in the face,
Oh my
just
God.
not even making any movements.
What?
Just, your eyes meet his. he slowly opens his mouth, and these cockroaches just start coming out of it, and then they crawl up into your mouth, and then you start convulsing, and your body starts turning into a goofy like.
That's how it happens. That's why they're all dog people.
And then you start going. What bowl of cereal do you grab?
Oh my god!
Well, I'm glad you asked, Chad. I think I would have a delicious bowl of Goof Troop Fruit Loops.
Ooh,
That's not even a thing.
It is now.
Oh god!
I
can't
run
make
this.
upstairs here.
I did.
Well,
I just did.
don't listen to him, folks.
Hey, Chad, maybe we could team up together for this one.
Oh
Okay.
no! I'm scared.
Here, Tiffany, if we may paint a picture. You're about to do something huge in front of the entire school.
Okay.
And then the curtain opens.
But what you don't expect is that when the curtain opens, it's not your peers there.
It's a bunch of cats.
Oh god.
Yeah. So those cats don't fare too well in a dog world.
Oh no.
So they all start hissing and throwing feces at you.
And then the king cat comes out on his levitating pedestal.
And he says, Tiffany, in front of all these people, we're going to claw your eyes out.
And then we're going to throw them in our litter box and scuff it over with our little paws, little cute paws.
And the kitties are scuffing over you with their little Kit Kat kitty paws. What sort of cereal would you be craving?
I'm going to ignore that entire setup and just
Okay, well,
let
you
you
can't.
know
You got to play by the rules.
that
you gotta-
I'm going to have.
Hey, can I check with the Matt?
Matt,
Can she do that?
Can she do that?
Matt's on my side because he thinks you guys are cracked in the head.
You gotta answer the question.
Yeah.
My bowl of cereal is going to be a classic bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios because there's nothing more classic than frickin' Goofy.
Yeah. Excellent answer.
Good answer.
All right. So, the thing about Goofy and the whole movie is it ends on a pretty positive note.
Sure does.
What moral stuck with you guys from a Goofy movie, Tiffany?
As a kid, because I did watch this in the theater, so I was literally really like a child. So part of my thing with that movie was a lot of the times I understood Max way more than I understood Goofy the first time I saw this movie. And then it kind of changed.
Sort of like the Tom and Jerry effect, how like when you're a kid, you're rooting for Jerry.
I just understood the adolescence and like the embarrassment of the parent, and like I understood Max's point of view way better. But then the older I got, the more I started to see what Goofy would see as well. But my whole thing was, I feel like it's so simplistic, but if he had maybe just been, instead of with the two, just been more upfront with his dad, a lot of that could have been avoided, and he probably would have just taken him to LA.
Actually, can you transition this into your rating as well? Like what it meant to you, and then what you would rate it, and how it withstood the test of time?
Okay, well, my message would have just been maybe be honest or having more of a discussion. You know, if they had talked to each other instead of making a lot of assumptions, a lot of that adventure wouldn't have happened, although the adventure is awesome. But, you know, maybe their relationship would have been stronger to begin with. My rating is, what's it out of again? 5?
Out of 5.
It's definitely a 5.5 out of 5.
Out of what?
Out of what?
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm going to rate it
Cheese Whiz cans.
Fucking Chad.
5.5 power lines out of 5. And because it is way better than just a 5. Like it breaks the scale. And this movie meant a lot to me. It just always stuck with me as a kid. I think this was one of the first Disney movies that had wittier humor in it.
Before like an Emperor's New Groove.
Right. I believe this was like the beginning of like smart, witty jokes in a Disney live action film. Like I wasn't used to that, and Disney hadn't made that the regular formula yet. So it was very refreshing and surprising to me. I remember it always just stuck out to me as this like a new amazing phenomenon that I was watching.
Would you recommend it?
Hell yes.
I mean, what would you say for people that haven't seen it yet? What would you say
You're
to them?
missing out, because this is probably one of the best Disney animated movies ever made in the entire freaking world.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our cartoon correspondent, Tiffany Sutton. Chad, the Gazmo cook.
Gazmo. Well, I would say the movie in a whole was fantastic. It hit a lot of marks. It had slapstick. It had, real life relationships that would be exaggerated in other Disney movies. And it couldn't be. I haven't seen really any other Disney movie that still had such goofy characters and still had such a serious tone. And so I think it still holds. It holds up very well.
True that.
And it's very fun. I think kids and even adults can still watch it together. Maybe bring them closer.
It's still hilarious too.
Hey, give us a Blu-ray already if you're listening.
Give us a Blu-ray. We want more special features. Blu-ray.
And well, yeah. I mean, other than putting more puke and garbage out my mouth and repeating myself over and over,
what would you rate it?
I will rate it.
Yeah.
4
Whoop.
fat opera ladies out of 5.
Yeah, G. Chadwick Cook, ladies and gentlemen. For me, the Goofy movie was a culmination of amazing voice talent, excellent script, witty humor, sharp intellect, and a plot that is relatable through the test of time. And that's why 20 years later, people are still geeking out when the characters are brought up or the movie's mentioned, or, college roommates are trying to get laid to it. So...
yeah, John Stacy, my boy!
So, I'm going to have to give it 5 Leaning Tower of Cheeses.
Nice.
Oh.
Out of 5, because I recently watched it, and I've seen this movie maybe 40 to 50 times.
It's my fault. I make him watch it over and over.
It is... And I think the last time I watched it after the panel was the first time I watched it without distraction. Like, it wasn't with a crowd of people. It wasn't on in the background of something. It was me just physically watching the movie without twiddling on my phone and my balls. So,
oh wow.
Maybe.
that's a must for movies. But I actually watched it, and it was real. It made me sort of like want to call my dad. I text him because who calls anymore? But
Dan, you're crying again.
I can't see that.
Give him a tissue.
So yeah, it's real and it holds up and it's funny and people will continue to love this movie forever because it's always going to be that teen angst versus the adulthood. And when, like Tiffany said, when you're young, you can really see it from Max's point of view. When you get a bit older, you can really see it from Goofy's point of view. I can't wait to rewatch this movie down the road to see where I'll be then. Maybe I'll relate more to Lester. but 5 out of 5 for me.
Leaning Tower of Cheeses.
Leaning Tower of Cheeses.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anyway,
I think
final wrap-ups?
Goofy movie rocks.
Okay.
Eye to eye.
Eye to eye. Thank you.
Stand out, everybody.
Well, we want to thank everyone at our new studio of Castle Grayskull.
Or the home of Infinite Grenade Launcher Podcast.
That's right. Hey, Matt,
Tune in,
you can shout
subscribe.
this out. When is Infinite Grenade Launcher on?
When's the next episode?
When do they tune in?
When should they...
He's so silent right now.
It's going to be in 2 weeks.
So
2
check
weeks,
it out.
folks.
Check
New
them out on
episode.
Facebook and stuff. It's a hilarious gaming podcast.
If you love video games, you'll love it.
You like tunes
Tune in.
and video games?
Tunes
You're in the
and
right
video games,
house,
you're
baby.
in the right place to be.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to another
out
episode.
of tunes.
Rating. Jesus. Thank you for listening to another episode. My name is Dan Danimated Mason.
And I'm Chad Wubba-Dub Glub-Dub Cook.
I'm Tiffany Standout Sutton.
And remember, if you weren't raised by tunes,
You weren't raised right.
uh-huh.
You guys ready to record?
Oh,
I got you!
Thanks for listening to the Raised by Toons podcast. Be sure to visit their website at www.raisedbytoonspodcast.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to their podcast on iTunes, and don't forget to follow them on Twitter and Facebook. Tune in next week to listen to two grown men who peaked in middle school try to relive their